Hello, at-home learners. It is Miss Moore, and today we are having a surprise lesson. When we were taking the quiz yesterday, I saw how everyone was struggling to take an improper fraction and turn it to a mixed number. And so we're going to work on how to do that a quick and easy way using models today. So we're starting with 6/5 as our improper fraction. Of course, an improper fraction just means it's greater than one whole, so the numerator is greater than the denominator. So in this case, 6 is greater than 5. So we're going to hop over to some fraction circles. Hopefully they will finish loading soon. There we go. And we're going to try to make a model that shows 6/5. So I've got 1/5, 2/5, 3/5, 4/5, and 5/5. The problem is we need 6/5, which means we're going to have to use this other circle over here. And you can see we've got greater than one whole. This circle is completely filled in, giving us one whole. And this circle has 1/5 showing. So if I come back over to paint, I can see that 6/5 is equal to 1 whole and 1/5. So it would be awesome if we were able to use manipulatives like that when we're taking an online test or paper test, but of course, that's not a thing. So we need to figure out how to do this in a paper-based working it out environment or drawing on the screen environment, either one. So we've got some important things to remember. I'm going to draw a big old fraction bar over here, and then I'm going to type some text in over here. Our denominator tells us how many pieces make a whole. I'm going to spread that out. I don't want that taking up 2 lines. And then I'll kind of scoot over. So how many pieces make a whole is what the denominator tells us. And then I'm going to make another text box. How many pieces to shade in is what the numerator tells us. So we're going to make that same model, but we're going to have to draw it. So you might be drawing it on paper, you might be drawing it on a screen, or whatever. I'm not the super best at drawing a circle that's cut into 5 equal pieces, so I'm going to skip the circle and I'm going to go to a rectangle. Whoops, except I did that and didn't mean to. Yeah, we're not doing that. We're going to go back to brush. There we go. So I'm going to draw a rectangle and try to draw 4 bars evenly through it. That'll give me 5 almost equal pieces. We're going to pretend they're equal, right? Yes, we're going to just go ahead and just imagine that those are equal, even though they're not quite. All right, I'm going to pick a different color to shade in. I need to shade in 6/5. So here's 1/5, 2/5, 3/5, 4/5, 5/5. Uh-oh, I don't have a 6/5. Well, that means I need to draw a second hole and put the 4 dividing lines in. And then I can come in and fill in this one for my 6th one. So now I have filled in 6/5, and as you can see, this is one whole and this is 1/5. So it matches the circle models that we had, but this we're able to draw and create ourselves, and therefore we can do this anywhere. We can do this when we're drawing on a screen like we're going to do in Draw It's in today's lesson, or we can do it on pen and paper or pencil and paper or whatever. All right, so let me get some rectangles filled in here because I want this to go away, and we want to do another example using different numbers. Whoopsie. Let's get that back on the screen, please. Okay, I meant to go bigger than that. Why does it look so weird? Okay. Bear with me here. Thank you for your patience. All right, so the next fraction we want to try is 8/3. I'm going to go back to brush, turn it to black so we can actually see it on the screen. 8/3, okay? So what does the 3 tell us? The 3 is the denominator, so that's going to tell us how many pieces make a whole. So in this case, I could draw a circle because thirds in a circle look kind of like a peace sign, and I can actually kind of do that. So I'm going to use red this time. And I'm going to fill in 1, 2, 3/3. Is that enough? Well, no, it's not. So I need to draw another hole, another peace sign. Get my red coloring going back on. 1, 2, 3. So now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 thirds shaded in, but that's still not enough. So I'm just going to, no problem, add another set of thirds. And I need to fill in the 7th one and the 8th one, and I'm done. So I need to look at how many holes did I have. I had 2 holes. And then what fraction is this? This is 2/3. So 8/3 is equivalent to or equal to 2 2/3. Hopefully you're catching on to how we did this. Now, sometimes we need to do this and we don't just have the improper fraction. Sometimes we have an improper fraction that's part of a mixed number, and we definitely can't allow that. That is not something that can be allowed to be. It's just too confusing to have a whole number and then have your improper fraction, which means it's more than a whole. So you've got like holes in 2 places, and it's just super confusing. All right, let's do some filling in here. Get rid of some stuff that we don't want to see anymore. All right, so this last example that we've got, we're going to go back to brush and black. We're going to do 1 9/5. All right, so we've already got 1 hole, okay? So keep that in mind that we've already got 1 hole. Now we still need to know how many pieces make a whole. We're going to look at our denominator, and that's going to be 5. So I'm going to go back to my good old rectangles. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, those are not even, but we're going to pretend that they are. Let's use orange this time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's not enough, so I'm going to need to draw a second hole and try to make it roughly the same size as the first one. And I've already filled in 5, 6, 7, 8, 9/5. So this is 1 hole, and this is 4/5. But if you'll remember, we already had a 1. So now I'm going to have to add these 2 ones, and I'm going to end up with 2 4/5 for my answer. 2 4/5. Because I already had that 1, it doesn't just disappear. So if I really wanted to put that on my model, I could have drawn another hole and filled it in and shown it that way. Okay, so hopefully you've got the hang of it. Now you're going to go do a Nearpod. It's going to be converting some some improper fractions to mixed numbers. And then it's going to be fixing some mixed numbers that have improper fractions inside of them just to get some practice in. All right, and that code for that Nearpod will be contained back on your page for at-home learning. Thank you so much.